Right, hello and welcome to a very fun video. So we managed to get hold of an old realm that we had probably like 4 or 5 years ago now. And this realm has got one of the coolest builds that I've ever done on it. So I thought it'd be quite fun. I've not seen this for ages, so this is going to be quite fun to go back and do a little world tour of this build together. So as you can see, this is kind of like the spawn area. This is where we developed most of the stuff. This realm was me and two of my friends, and yeah, this was just a super cool realm. So this was my starter house. This is fairly simple, but just a quite a big area to be fair to get started. A load of chests and stuff in it. But I have not lived in here for a long time. Grew all of my trees back here. Had a few farms and stuff. As you can see, there's a little railway track that kind of goes around. But then one of my biggest projects, you might be able to see it already off in the distance. We'll get onto that in a minute. This was one of my friend's bases. This was meant to be a train station. This was his main base, and we had the trains going off, and they would do a loop. Had some farms. Is this maybe a automatic storer? Oh no, super smelter. A load of chests and stuff. And then his starter base was over here. You see, there's loads of advertising and propaganda around, trying to sell things to each other. And yeah, it looks like he moved out of here. And yeah, the railway system going around spawn. That's quite cool. The bridges there are nice. I like them. This might have been another starter base. Looks like it. But yeah, moving on. I'm kind of ignoring that over there for the moment, but we'll come back to it. The two shops. So a very modern one. Quite cool design, this one. And then my shop, which was the one here, a bit older, very similar design to the starter base. Over here we had this was my office, I think it was, so I would do business meetings for my projects and stuff like that. Very kind of Yogscast roleplay inspired. Come up here, and you've got this desk looking out with this amazing view over our starter area. And now we can get on to a project I didn't finish because it was humongous. What I did complete was very cool. One of the ideas I had was to create a giant mall for shopping. So the idea is that I have loads of stores, areas, and put loads of shops in them and like rent out the shops. As you can see, this thing is ginormous, and three of us were never going to fill all of these shops up. But this was such a cool project. I never finished it, but I got some of it done. So one of the things I did for it was make this really intricate floor pattern design, very colourful, kind of like flowery sort of terracotta design, and I really like that one. Lots of trees on the inside. And yeah, the idea is you have these little shells that you sell out at shops, you rent out, and I can make loads of money, but I don't think any of them actually ever got filled. Maybe one or two shops in them, but this was a giant project that I just started working on. I don't think there's any shops actually filled up on the inside. No, it doesn't look like it. But yeah, had this amazing area here. Like, this is so cool. With all the trees, the floor, this giant water fountain. This project was so cool. And it's just so large. I forgot quite how big it is. But yeah, that was a super cool project. There's a few other things dotted around at the spawn area, including one. I can't remember quite the entrance. Here it is. Here's the entrance to the very iconic The Clelp. Me and another friend decided to put a nightclub underneath our other friend's face using lots of these kelp blocks. It's a little bit smaller than I remember it, but with these, it took a while to get them without a proper farm or anything. So, and yeah, had to do all the music this, and this was just hidden. We decided to hide this underneath our friend's base. But yeah, this was a fun project. But yeah, now it's time to fly towards my base. So one thing we did do that I think was a mistake with this world was we split up quite a bit. Two of us ended up moving really far away from the spawn area, and I think that was probably a mistake. I think if we'd stayed closer together, it might have continued the world a bit longer. It'd be a bit easier to go and travel between each other's bases, but we didn't do that. Instead, we split up quite a bit. The idea I had with Space was to build an island, have my own custom island, and this is what I was building. The idea was that it was going to be quite a polluted, like almost dead kind of island. So the idea was all of the grass is kind of dead, and I was going to build a load of dead trees on it as well. But But I never got around to that bit. But you can see I got the main shape of the island kind of done. The one problem with doing that like this was Enderman. Enderman was so bad at griefing this thing. You see they've moved all the blocks around and there are a lot of holes in the island. There were also the holes because I didn't get around to finishing it, but it was quite a big project. And I was focusing mainly on getting the interior done, but you can see the shape of the island. This was really cool. Little pond there. Fortunately, it was torch spam all over it, which probably would have looked a bit better without that. But oh well, it was still in work. But the island, the shape was really cool. And you come up to the way to get into the base. Press this button, a little piston door, and a corridor. Loads of stuff scattered around. That should probably be cleaned up, but oh well. And I don't think this is going to work. No, it doesn't look like it's still there. But we did have a 3x3 elevator that would come up off the ground and take you up and down into the base. Fortunately, it seems like that broke quite a bit because it took quite a while. And if you weren't waiting around, it would break. Like if you flew off and you went out of render distance, the elevator would break. But as you can see, it brings you down into the main base, and I'm quite excited about this because I've not seen this base in so long. But this is one of my favouriteest bases ever. This was so cool. Right, there we go. Wow. I'm just enjoying this. This base was immense. Huge dome up there to see the water coming through. The torch spam is quite bad, but yeah, this is huge. The idea was I was going to replace all of the torches with light posts like that. I never got around to doing that because the design was quite iron intensive. I think I had an iron farm, but even still. But yeah, this base was huge. I've never done anything like this before, anything on this scale. But it turned out so cool. I'm so happy. It took forever. Digging out the area was a massive task. And then in the side areas, we have a couple different bits. We've got a chest room, enchanter. I think through here we had an iron farm. I think this was the iron farm. Rip big guy. I assume that was the old zombie. But yeah, this design I think still might even work. Or maybe it needs a few tweaks, but it's still running, so that's pretty good going. As you can see, this did me good. This farm did me good. On the other side, we had a load of villagers, so another room show. I didn't finish this room, did I finish the room on the ceiling on the other side? Yeah, finish the ceiling on this one. I mean, the ceilings are so impressive. I absolutely love the ceilings. The shape of them is so cool. This took so long, so much time, so much resources. Yeah, didn't get around to finishing on this side because I had to dig up all of that, and that's basically on the sea. So I was having to kind of like place a load of blocks on the sea floor, then destroy them from the other side so it didn't flood it all. But yeah, I had my villagers in here. These had me sorted. Then a little curing area over here, I think. This is where I had the villagers coming from. Villager breeder up there. That would drop them down. Didn't really decorate these bits. And yeah, this was actually quite a good system. I mean, I still use a similar sort of system, but just a bit more compact and a bit less, yeah, well thought out than this. I can't remember what was in here. Or maybe I was going to build melon and pumpkin farms in here. Like some big ones. But yeah, that was my base, and it was, yeah, I don't think I've ever loved a base quite like this one. This one, just that dome roof, so cool. There's a little witch hiding up there. I don't know how they're up there. There was so much effort digging all of this out, but I think it was well worth it. This is so cool. And this was my other friend's base. This was a really cool base as well. This was different to mine. It was a bit more exterior focused, whereas mine was kind of the interior. But he built a super cool castle. I can't remember which is the best way to look at this from. I forgot how much work he did on this. Yeah, this base is so cool. He did a great job on this. The red roofs are really cool. That's a really nice effect. Not quite finished. As you can see, we didn't quite finish. We always do projects that are a bit more ambitious than we've actually got time for. This was a super cool project. Really cool. I love the spikes he's got in it there, and the amount of detail that he managed to get in it was really cool. And it's just a really cool atmosphere going through it. Like, it does feel like you're in an old-fashioned castle, and there were loads of little walkways and stuff all throughout the build that made it just super alive. And you did start working on a small little village over here as well, where the common folk live. This is really cool, using some fun angles and stuff like that. And then a few farms over that way. I just remembered seeing this. I did also start building a village over by his. So this was kind of the design I kind of went for. I was going to do loads of elevation. I think this sort of design kind of led to my base on Charisma SMP Series 2. Kind of this sort of vibe. It's very similar. By the water side. Oh, yeah. I got a great view. I got an unbelievable view. And yeah, the vibe of this place was cool. I like this, and I wish I could have done more with it, but I guess I kind of ended up doing more with a design like this in Charisma Season 2, so which if I get the world download of that, I will have to go through that, because that was one of my coolest, well, it was definitely my biggest base I think I've ever done, but that was super cool. Jesus. Yeah, I remember we built this little room for the hidden door. I didn't realise there was this hiding in there. Jesus. But yeah, thank you for checking out this little tour of an old realm. I just thought, because I got the file and I was like, I think this could be a really fun idea just to go back over this base, because I remember it so fondly, and I was absolutely right. It was even bigger than I remember it being. So yeah, super cool. Super cool place. But yeah, thanks for watching this. It'd be fun to do some more tours like this, but I just need to get old server files and stuff like that, and I don't know how possible that's going to be, but my Charisma SMP Season 1 and Season 2 base, especially the Season 2 one, was so cool. And if I can get my hands on those files, that'd be amazing to go over and just show you some of the stuff that I've done in the past, because I've played a lot of time doing this game, and I've created some cool stuff in the process. But yeah, if you did enjoy this, like and subscribe. And I'm working on another episode of the playthrough, so that should be coming in a few weeks at least. And yeah, until then, thank you very much for watching, and see you later.